Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of Effortless. I am your host today, Mr. Piddle, and with me is Dr. Spigel.
Dr. Spigel. That's right. Hello, everybody.
Hello, all of
30
our
of you.
36 viewers.
Hey, I appreciate you guys for listening to this stupid show
I appreciate you more.
It was every week, but now we're just kind of doing it whenever because we don't give a crap anymore. So
Yeah. You know what? We just need to be more excited.
yeah. Hey,
Way more excited.
I'm super excited. I'm sick. I'm sick excited.
So I hear you've been sick.
I have been sick. I've been very, very sick. I've been sick.
We are going to blame Spiegel's. I mean, he's a doctor, but apparently he's sick all the time. Because
you can be sick if you're a doctor.
I think he's been sick for like the last 2 weeks straight.
So here's what happened. So the thing is about being married is that you share everything. You share food, you share money, you share your video game collection, and you share your germs. And I have been in a constant battle with my wife over these same germs where they keep going back and forth between us. So I've basically just been sick for like 2 weeks.
You guys need to disinfect your home.
Yeah. I mean, if we can disinfect each other, that would probably be better.
And just wait for kids because they go to school and then they come back, or daycare, and they bring back every disease you can imagine from school.
Herpes.
And get you sick.
Oh, that's inappropriate. Sorry.
I hope.
Just wait until I call this the herpes episode, and then we'll get tons of views.
Oh my goodness! You know what? That's not a bad idea. Let's go with it.
We're gonna do it.
Absolutely. It's already happening. You're gonna have to pick a good song for the herpes episode. Like,
oh yeah, what would that be?
I don't know, like the thong song, something appropriate.
No, I know you're hosting, but I need to take charge here because we need to do the bucket list. This is going to be a short show, everybody, so just get over it. I mean, shorter show titled the herpes episode, in theory, should get us a crap ton of views, so I'm super hyped.
I think it will.
Yeah.
I think it will do really well.
So yeah.
This is, the show where we talk about anything and everything, and today we have absolutely nothing to talk about. So
we were struggling for so long trying to figure stuff out for this week. It was really hard. And the reason I've been putting off a show, well, last week it was because I was sick, but the week before I was like, there's nothing to talk about. What do we talk about? So basically this week we're just kind of going to go through some boilerplate stuff, but hopefully it should be interesting.
See, I've been putting off doing the show because I wanted to actually finish a game before we did our next show.
Yeah, you're in trouble, dude. It's been like 3 weeks for you. You've finished
It has
nothing.
been 3 weeks. I have not finished a single game, and I'll get into that into a moment here. But first, we're going to start with our bucket list.
Bucket list.
So far on our bucket list, we have just 4 games, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Just to review, Super Mario 64, Half-Life 2, Pokemon Red and Blue, and Resident Evil 4.
All fantastic games.
Yes. You should have played them in the last 3 weeks while you were not listening to us.
Yes, and then you should have made comments.
Yeah.
And Chazzy F, you should have made thesis paper on what your bucket list games are.
He's been too busy basically being like the only person actually doing anything on the ZBN because he is, I got to give this guy credit. We kind of invited him into the fold to do like a podcast with us, and he just kind of stuck because he was so like enthusiastic about helping. So if you want to help our channel, be enthusiastic and like write a bunch of crap, and then you'll pretty much just be in because I'm too jaded to do this anymore. Also, in
too
other
worn out.
I'm like going way off topic, but in other ZBN related news, we also have a Twitter now. So go follow us at the ZBN, and you'll get to actually. Speaking of Chazzy, he actually posts stuff like all the time on the Twitter. He has a daily jukebox. So if you like music, go follow our Twitter account because that's pretty much all that's getting posted over there.
So what do you want to add to your bucket list today, Spiegel?
So I'll go first. Speaking of music, hey, I'm going to add. This is a fantastic.
You know what?
game
We have the best segues. Can I just say that?
That was really good, actually, and that wasn't even planned. So, but anyway, so this is a fantastic game. It came out in 2005. At the time, I thought it was ridiculous because I didn't understand how it would even work or why you'd want to pay $80 for it. because this is back in the days when video games were like $50 max. They were on
Yep.
discs. They were on PlayStation 2. And the game is Guitar Hero by Activision. And actually, at the time, it was by Harmonix and Activision. Harmonix then did
Yes.
their own thing to go make Rock Band, which is a different thing. But Guitar Hero was like the original huge rhythm game. And there were other games at the time.
Whoa, 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 whoa! The original huge rhythm game.
I would say it was the original huge rhythm game, yeah. I mean, there were games, there were
Dance
rhythm
Dance
games.
Revolution. Come on,
Well, I mean, that.
come on.
It's not really the same thing. It's not the same type
The
of thing.
difference is Dance Dance Revolution is the original huge rhythm game, and Guitar Hero was the rhythm game that made it
Into your
uh,
home, I guess.
that sort of made it into everybody's home, and everybody knew what Guitar Hero was, and everybody loved playing Guitar Hero.
Yeah, so anyway, my thing about Guitar Hero was like I was a huge skeptic at first. I'm like, why would anybody ever want something like this? You know, why don't you just play the real guitar? And then I played it, and then it was like, this is a game changer. Like that, like I'm amazed that rhythm games had as much life in them as they did after that point, because they just got the market just got flooded with them for the next 5 years until Rock Band 3 came out in 2010. Was kind of the genre's final magnum opus, and it was actually a fantastic game. But regarding Guitar Hero, very succinct, the great track list, very interesting concept. Obviously, get a guitar, you play it, and you play the songs like while they're on screen. And ultimately, it's a short game. It doesn't have like a lot of songs. It's fairly challenging, but ultimately, I added it to the list because honestly, it doesn't even have to be the first Guitar Hero. It can be any Guitar Hero. I just think everyone needs to experience that little plastic guitar in your hands. I think it's very important.
You know, there's that new one coming out. What do you think of that one?
Guitar Hero Live.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is about this is I thought it was kind of ridiculous because Harmonix announced Rock Band 4, and then like a day later, Activision's like, we're back in too, and with Guitar Hero. So they're like kind of continuing one of gaming's most famous, I guess, feuds. Because if you remember, Guitar Hero versus Rock Band was like huge.
Yes.
And I ended up being a Rock Band guy in the end. But Guitar Hero Live, I don't know. I love the new guitar. I don't love the track list. I think it's kind of bad. I think it's just a lot of new metal and like weird pop, rap, hip hop type music with guitars in it. So I don't know. I'm not really looking forward to that. But I'm looking forward to the idea of it. I hope it catches on again because honestly, parties were more fun with Guitar Hero.
And, you know, I just love how Guitar Hero introduced me to Dragon Force.
You are a big Dragon Force fan, right?
Oh, man.
You
No,
go to all those shows. You're
I'm
a
not.
groupie.
I'm not. I just always think of playing like the Dragon Force songs and walking away with my hands cramped and ready to fall apart.
How far did you get in that game? I played on expert at the end, and I was pretty good at it.
I played on expert at the end, but I like the final songs I could barely pass.
Like I never got through the Fire and the Flames or anything, but like I could always do like Cliffs of Dover was one of my favorite songs to show off to my friends because it was so like melodic, but it was also really. Go listen to Cliffs of Dover by Eric Johnson, people. He's a guitar virtuoso.
So I like that choice. I mean, I do feel like everybody needs to play Guitar Hero.
Yeah, it's not like
even
anymore...
though eventually I hit that point where I was like, you know what, I've played this game way too much, and I could have learned the guitar by now.
Yeah, eventually I went out and just started learning bass, so it was like, well, okay, so much for that. But you know, it still holds a place in my heart as a very important game. So,
All right.
Yeah.
So for my game this week, I'm going to pick the excellent PlayStation Classic, and it was really I would say one of the first truly cinematic games.
I knew you were going to say that, and I totally agree. It was revolutionary in terms of like cutscenes and stuff like
Yes.
that. You didn't have that back
And
then.
not
This
not
was
in
like
terms of like computer FMV where it was live actors.
yeah, it's not Sega CD type stuff.
Yeah, live B-list. Actually, I don't even know if you could say there were B-list actors. Most PC games at the time, it was just, I don't know, D-list, F-list
F-list.
actors. They were just so bad. And any PC game you played that had like CD-ROM, it was like, ooh, full motion video. Watch our actors play this out. And
It's actually the developers. It's not even actors. It's just the people who made the game. They're just like, let's go pretend to be actors. What is F-list? We're F-list.
It was
Like
just
I am
so
an
bad.
F-list actor.
It was so bad. And but yeah, Metal Gear Solid is the game. Boom.
All right.
And I mean, for a lot of people, it was eye opening for what video games could do because it finally introduced, yeah, long cutscenes and a story that was interesting and characters that were interesting and gameplay as well that was very, very solid gameplay.
Can I interject this real quick? When I was going to start playing Metal Gear Solid, and I did start playing it. I started playing it on the 9th of this month, and of September, and I was playing it. And I was like, oh crap, Mario Maker comes out in like 2 days. I don't have time for this, which we'll talk about later. But so I didn't want to get like too invested in a game and not be able to play Mario Maker, so I put it down. But I played probably about the first hour or two of it, and I was blown away by the fact that I was looking at a game that came out in 1996 or 97. I
Yeah.
can't even remember. It was like I was watching a movie during the cutscenes. It looked like it was being directed, and I was like, this is weird. Like, I've never seen a cutscene do anything like this before.
And you're talking about just like a week ago,
Yeah,
and you thought this.
yeah.
That says a lot about it, wouldn't you say?
I don't understand what that means. Explain yourself.
I mean, that you would think it was just so cinematic and that it was directed and it was pretty much the one of the first games that ever really tried something like that.
Yeah, it looked like you had a cameraman and that he was being given specific instructions on like where to point it at what time and stuff like that. Like it did feel like I was watching scenes from a movie during the cutscenes, which was really cool.
Yes. Yeah, and I mean, one of the things for Metal Gear Solid for me was just yeah, the characters in the game are really, really interesting, at least for me. Um, and a lot of people go back now and they say like, "Oh, it's cheesy,
It is kind of cheesy, but I think it's endearing.
ridiculous." And you know what? How many movies have you seen that are really cheesy, but you buy into it just because the characters are portrayed so well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's no Effortless acting
Yeah,
in this game.
and I mean, one of the things that I know a lot of people complain about is movies that just like buy into specific tropes, and for me that never matters as long as the actors who do it well and they're convincing about it. And yeah, Metal Gear Solid is goofy, and I mean it breaks the fourth wall I don't know how many times, like especially with the Psycho Mantis fight.
Well, no spoilers, please, because I am going to pick it up again soon. I just want to
Yes.
get more out of Mario Maker first.
But it's like if you have not played it, obviously it's on our bucket list. You have to play it.
I will give that the stamp of approval as well because the little bit I played of it, although I was really really bad at it, and I'm not really planning on talking about this more, but I was really really bad at the game for the first 2 hours that I played it. I still was having a really good time, and I can't remember the last time I had such a good time being terrible at a game. So,
And you know, one of the amazing things about it is it still looks really good.
not on an HD TV, it doesn't.
Not on HD TV.
I need to get a CRT or something because
I think it still looks really good. Other than the PlayStation's notoriousness for having
blurriness.
for not really the blurriness, but the texture crawling that occurs.
Yeah, that's really bad. But I can get past it because I'm not a graphics whore by any means, so it's not really a concern to me. But it's for me the issue was more it's kind of hard to see things.
Mm-hmm.
But
And anyway,
I
for
think the game held up fairly well from what I played of it.
for what it's worth, the game originally came out in 1998.
Oh wow, that's later than I thought. But still,
Yes, so it's now 17 years old.
man. And then of course, did you pick this because you've been playing Metal Gear Solid 5?
Hey, hey, hey! No spoilers.
I think I already mentioned that earlier in the show, but I can't remember.
Uh, yes, I did.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like I have to, and it offers a little bit something different from what we've already added, because, yeah, Resident Evil 4 tries to be cinematic, but that falls more into the line of cheesiness. Although it's really, really good.
Don't
Like a
rip Resident
fantastic
Evil
game.
4.
Yeah.
We're not going to get in a fight over that.
And Half-Life 2 is more of a cinematic experience from your point of view, where it never takes control away from you. Metal Gear Solid is almost completely the opposite. I mean, there's almost as many cutscenes as there is gameplay.
For what it's worth, Super Mario 64 is cinematic because you're literally being followed around by a movie camera. So,
Oh,
yeah. So, all right.
So, other than that, like we want to talk about a little bit of news this week,
The
and
news.
that
So
news is
this news really, it didn't piss me off because I'm not like planning on getting this game right now or anything, but I was very confused. And I think once we reveal the news after a long buildup of like 30 seconds of which we keep talking about this mysterious news, dot, dot, dot. What's the news?
the news. Another thing, Nintendo just doesn't even care anymore. I feel like Star Fox has been delayed to 2016. Didn't Zelda already get delayed to 2016?
Yeah, so now they have nothing coming out this holiday. They have a niche RPG on their Wii U, which is
Yeah,
Xenoblade.
Xenoblade
They've got a
Chronicles
niche
X.
RPG on 3DS, which I'm no longer convinced is going to be successful because they haven't marketed it at all to kids, which is Yokai Watch. And then they've got Yoshi's Woolly World, which is technically out in October, which is not a holiday window. And then they have two other games which are not going to do anything, which are Mario Tennis and Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival.
Wait, there's a Mario Tennis coming out
Yeah, the one they showed at
on
E3 that looked really bad.
on 3D or on 3DS.
No, it's on Wii U.
Wait, there's one on Wii U.
Dude,
Wow.
exactly. That's how invisible these games have been, and it's troubling to me because it's like, well, I understand. I'm totally okay with Nintendo delaying their games to get them right, but as a business decision, I don't think this makes very much sense.
See, like I said, like I don't think they even care at this point when it
I think
comes to
that
anything with the Wii U. I think what they do release, they want it to be quality, and
I
then
gotta give them credit for that. I really do. I mean, that's
they're just gonna move on and just go to the NX, and at least those of us who actually bought a Wii U will be satisfied with the very high quality games we got.
it's a ballsy move in the sense that they are delaying a game that is almost ready to come out in a year where game like industry analysts are saying prepare for more broken games this holiday than ever before at launch, which in itself is a very troubling statement to me. Have you seen these
Are they really
reports?
saying this? I have not seen these
I read
reports.
an article. I'm sorry, guys, I can't source it, but I read an article that said like some industry analyst was like, "There's going to be more games this year that don't work at launch than ever," and I'm like, "Really?" Because these are like playtesters and stuff.
Hmm.
Some of these games just aren't close to being ready. Like Assassin's Creed Syndicate, they're saying is going to have the problems again. Surprise, surprise. And then Devil's Third obviously is just like a bad game. That's on Wii U. What other games are coming out this year?
If
I wouldn't be surprised if Fallout 4 was incredibly buggy, but I wouldn't blame the
I
developers for that. It's just kind
That's
of a
sort of just Bethesda
yeah,
being Bethesda.
yeah. So I wouldn't necessarily lump Fallout in with that. But there's games like Call of Duty. I'm worried about Star Wars Battlefront. I'm especially worried that it's going to suck at launch.
Yes, because I
Um,
think they're trying to rush that out for the release of the new movie.
I think that they're going to try to capitalize on that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, and Rise of the Tomb Raider, like I don't know, I haven't seen any new footage in a while. Who knows how that's going to be? Games like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater that just don't really look that polished. It's concerning to me that the industry is sort of going down this road, and we've talked about this a million times, but
Hmm.
I still feel like it bears some repeating here.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's all we do talk about pretty much.
Is how
Just
much the industry
how
sucks now.
yeah, how much the
Yeah,
industry sucks right now. Missing the good old days where you can just put in a disc and play off the disc. And you know, that's one thing that just like blows my mind is that every single time I play a Wii U game, I'm playing it off the disc. If you
yeah.
look at like the PlayStation 3 and later Xbox games, you had to install everything.
My favorite thing
And here
about
you have like a
yeah,
modern like a console this generation that you put in a disc. You don't have to install anything other than you might have
you
an
have to you
update.
have an update sometimes, but those don't take
Yeah.
any more than like 5 minutes maximum.
Yeah, and then you're off and playing the game, and it's not that bad at all. It's pretty seamless actually.
It's amazing to me that we now live in a world where a 5 minute update is like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like at least it's not a 20 minute install time, and like the download crashes halfway through and you have to start over. Like I I work at a game store, as we all know, and people brought Destiny in the new Destiny in to me yesterday, and they're like, yeah, we didn't have enough space on our hard drive, but after waiting 4 hours for it to download, it told
Hot.
us that. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? That's a joke, and that's on 360. So
Um, so if you want my most recent complaint with Metal Gear Solid 5, which I'll talk about in a bit here, after we talk about just Nintendo is
Well, we went off topic again, but
yeah. Oh
this is
yeah,
an important topic, people.
it
So
is. This is playground talk right here.
yeah,
So one of the things that's driving me nuts now is I'm playing Metal Gear Solid 5, and every once in a while the controller just like the game stops working, and like whatever input I last put into the controller just like sticks
what system are you
for
playing it
like
on again? Xbox
Xbox
One.
One,
Okay.
and the input sticks for like I don't know. It's probably only like a half a second, but it feels like 2 or 3. And Snake is like completely like I can't control him. He just like the camera movement might just like keep spinning around or whatever, and then like I get my control back. And this happens fairly frequently, and it hasn't happened to a point where like I've died because of it yet, but it's happened in the middle of firefights. It's happened in the middle of plenty of things, and it's just another thing that just makes me so sick of this generation.
I'm almost excited for the next generation already, and I don't even have a current gen console. Like in terms of a real console, like not the Wii U. By the way, this is again unrelated, but since I kind of was going in that direction, I'll bring it up anyway. Yesterday I was working, and some guy wanted to pick up Mario Maker, and I'm like, oh yeah, that game is awesome. And some guy in the line was like, yeah, it's awesome if you're 9. And I was like, what the hell, dude? That's messed up. Like I'm not allowed to like games. People are jerks.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, you have fun with your broken Assassin's Creed Syndicate when it comes out, you idiot, because that's what he pre-ordered. So anyway, I just felt personally insulted, and I'm still obviously like salty about it. So if you all want to make fun of me, you can.
Ubisoft releases 2 broken Assassin's Creed games back to back years, like is there going to be any fallout to that?
I think
Or
the
are people
franchise.
just
I
going
think
to
the franchise
keep
is going to die because the hype for Syndicate is like already way down this year because of what Unity did. And I'm not going to say yeah it's going to be a bad game. I can't even say Unity was a bad game because I never played it. I do know that it was very buggy at launch, and I think that's a huge issue. So
I've played it, and I'll tell you now. I play because I got an Xbox One that came with Assassin's Creed Unity
okay,
and Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I figured why not? I haven't played Black Flag, and I mean it's a brand new Assassin's Creed game. How bad can it be? I have played Unity for maybe like 3 hours, and all of it was just a chore and not fun, and it wasn't even just the gameplay. It was like the frame rate stuttering, and I'm sorry, I don't like playing games in 20 frames per second and sometimes stuttering down to 10 every once in a while. It's just I don't do that anymore. I had enough of it. I had enough of it with the Nintendo 64. I'm done.
yeah. So we're all over the place. Do you want to get this back on track, or do you have more to say on Metal Gear Solid, or should we wait?
Uh, well, we'll talk about it right now.
Well, let's finish the Nintendo thing because
Yeah,
we were supposed to be talking about Nintendo,
Star Fox
and
delayed
their lineup
for
So
2015,
we
2016.
talked about their 2015 lineup, but now that Star Fox has been delayed, their 2016 lineup for Wii U is actually starting to look pretty good, which is weird, but it is because now they have Star Fox and Zelda and that Shin Megami Tensei Fire Emblem game, and shoot, what was the other one? They had one more, didn't they? Oh, Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 is coming out
Oh
next
yeah,
year.
that's right. Pikmin
Probably.
4 just plopped out of nowhere.
I mean, we did that Minish recap with the speculation. I still think it's coming out on NX. I also think Zelda U is coming out on NX. But regardless of what console it comes out on, if it comes out in 2016, that's a pretty impressive lineup for 2016.
I wouldn't be surprised if Pikmin 4 comes out on both.
That'd be interesting. Like sort of like Twilight Princessing it with the
Yeah.
But anyway, and then also the 3DS looks pretty amazing in 2016 too. If I can find this chart that I was looking at, they've got the Hyrule Warriors port, the new Fire Emblem game, Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, and the Metroid Prime Federation Force game, which jury's still
Nobody
out.
wants.
Well, the jury's still out in my opinion. It could still be good. It could be like Metroid Prime Hunters. And it says and more to be announced. So there are games coming out for 3DS and Wii U next year that we still don't know about. So, I mean, if that's just the basic like what we're getting next year, like that's a pretty good start. So I'm pretty excited. Looks like it's gonna be a pretty good year.
Probably.
We'll probably get a new Pokemon next year. They announced the new Pokemon anime, which was Pokemon X, Y, and Z. And there's no Pokemon Z, so I'm pretty sure that's happening officially.
Pokemon Z coming soon.
Pokken Fighters for Wii U is coming out next year, right?
Yeah. Pokken
Yes.
actually looks really, really fun.
If you like fighting games, that's going to be really cool. I'm not really big into it. I might get it just for the sake of having it, but
It looks more like a, I don't know. It reminds me more of a game like the Naruto Ultimate Ninja games,
yeah. Or like the Dragon
where
Ball ones.
yeah, where it's just like having fun with it. Yeah,
Yeah. Like it's not like a competitive like actual tournament game like, Street Fighter or any of that. It's just like a thing.
yeah. It's just about actually using Pokemon and having fun with them. Unlike,
Unlike Pokemon
yeah,
Go, which is just about walking around and seeing Pokemon. And have we talked about this?
Pokemon Go. No, we have not.
It's not going to be good. Get over it, guys. It's going to be like interesting for 5 minutes, and then you're going to be like, well, oh well. See, what would be cool is if they turn it into like an actual RPG where you could like catch Pokemon and then you could go around like people who have the app, you could battle them. That would be awesome. Even if it was like random battles, like if it was like randomly generated, and you'd like lose some and you win some, or you like spend money to win battles or whatever. Like that would be better than what this is, because this is nothing. This is just like I walk into my room and there's a Jigglypuff and I capture it.
How amazing would it be if you had like just it's on your phone, set to notifications, and whenever somebody gets within Bluetooth range of you, just like your phone goes crazy and you pull out your phone and you have a random battle with somebody.
Yeah, and there's like an exclamation mark that appears above your head in real life.
If only.
Yeah. Or like if you put someone, or like if you're in that camera mode and you're like looking at a person and they have the app too, like then the exclamation mark will appear in the AR. That would be awesome.
So
That's all I want is punctuation. I don't even want the Pokemon.
punctuation. Speaking of punctuation,
Punctuation go.
Metal Gear Solid has plenty of punctuation marks,
Okay.
and
That was not your best segue.
I know, not at all. But you know what? I tried. Metal Gear Solid 5 is my game for, obviously, it's my game for 52 of 52. And, you know, we talked about how it's been 3 weeks. I have not finished any games. I'll tell you right now, I have been playing games a lot more than usual. And that game, yeah, games, it's only one game. It's only Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, which I'm just like I'm not exactly trying to take my sweet time with it, but I just am.
There is no shame to me in enjoying a game like just as it goes and not like blasting through it, like just kind of like pacing yourself through it, really, really taking your time and enjoying those like amazing moments. I like playing games like that, and I don't really get the chance to anymore because I have so many games that I have to beat.
It at the beginning I loved it, and even now I still enjoy the game a lot, and it's one of the best games I have ever played. I have no idea where it would go in my top 50 right now. Sort of waiting until I finish it. But I'm sort of at that point where I just want to be done with the game so I can mark it off my list.
How many hours are you into it?
I if I had a I've easily played over 70 hours of the game.
Wow. Holy crap.
Like easily, and I'm like 46% done according to
Jeez.
the games counter. Yesterday I finally got to the point where, I mean, I don't really want to give any spoilers, but the game sort of made me think it was done. I've actually been able to avoid all spoilers for this game.
Nice job. That's hard.
Yeah, because I just I figured it was Kojima's magnum opus. I didn't want anything to be ruined for me, especially because that's what made Metal Gear Solid 2 and 1 so good for me. I knew nothing about them.
I know nothing about them either, so I'm excited.
And it just hits this point in the game where, I mean, the story didn't have that much going for it, but it seems like everything's starting to culminate really quickly. And then there's like an awesome boss battle, and after the boss battle, a long cutscene that sort of wraps everything up,
And then the
and then the
credits
credits
roll.
roll.
Oh, they
And
really
then,
do?
yeah,
I was just joking.
credits roll. Well, actually, one of the amazing things or funny things, and people have sort of been making fun of it, is after every mission that you play in Metal Gear Solid 5, you see like directed by Hideo Kojima
What?
and
So,
scenario
like, you see
written
one name
by
every-
Hideo Kojima, and I can't remember the other guy. But
Lighting
literally,
by.
yeah, it's literally every mission you complete. It's like, hey, you just played a game by Hideo Kojima. It's almost like this big slap in the face to Konami. Like, you know what? Screw you guys. I'm just gonna throw my name in this game as much as possible out of sheer spite.
Dude, when
Because
I'm not following this drama nearly as closely as you are, or at least the drama that was before the game came out. But when I found out that they took his name off the box, I was offended. I'm like, why would you do that? You're basically just saying screw you, Kojima, the guy who basically made us all of our money because nobody buys any of our other crappy games.
well, now they have pachinko, so.
Well, I guess.
But yeah, it's
And
hilarious
mobile
how,
games.
like, to me it's him saying, yeah, screw you, and giving one final F you to Konami as he walks out the door.
Yep.
But like this set of credits that was after this long cutscene and everything, it was pretty much everybody. It was a long, long list of credits. And so I thought game was done. And then actually, no, you're not done with the game at all. There's a completely separate part to the game. So I finished part one of the game, and now there's a part two that I have to finish. So
Jeez. I mean, Magnum Opus is right. Like it sounds like one huge game. Like
yeah,
I didn't even expect it coming out. Like you heard all this stuff about how The Witcher was like 200 hours long and all this, but I expected Metal Gear 5 to be like, well, I mean, 50 hours, like a big game, but not like a giant game.
I'm sure for plenty of people, it's only like a 50-hour game.
You're probably like going through your paces, making sure you like check everything and all that
Yeah,
stuff. But
but I've
still,
just been very, very slow and meticulous about it, and it's sort of annoying because now I'm realizing like I'm exploring everything earlier in the game, and I'm collecting everything I can early in the game, and you get a little bit further in the game, like just a little bit further, and all the stuff you got is pretty much worthless because it's sort of designed like an RPG where everything just like ramps up and
oh yeah,
all the items. So, I mean, I was essentially the guy that's playing Final Fantasy and decides to power level his characters for way too long. And yeah, it doesn't really do much for him.
you were doing the grinding too early.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're obviously not ready to give that a rating yet, but I am because
No.
I finished the game that I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks on the show,
All
and that
right.
was Persona 4 Golden on Vita, and man, it's so good. It's unbelievable how much fun I had with that game. It was just from beginning to end. The story was captivating. It was interesting. It felt like I was in high school again, which was interesting, and the dungeon crawling was like awesome once I had gotten past all the initial grinding, and I just really enjoyed everything about the game, and it almost defies explanation. It's just really, really good. It's complex, it's deep, it explores all these social themes that are really interesting, very controversial stuff in there too. Like there's gay characters, there's like borderline transgender characters, and like all this stuff in there, and you can date a bunch of girls, and there's scenes at the end where if you're dating multiple ones, you have to break up with everyone except for one, and it's heartbreaking because you have to do it to their face, but it's also kind of
Oh,
awesome. So I ended up breaking up with I think 4 girls at the end of the game. They were all so sad. It's a
awful
testament. It's a
person.
testament to the writers that they managed to make game. Like I cared about the girls that I was breaking up with. I'm like, I don't want to hurt you, but I have to hurt you. So basically, the game turned me into a hopeless romantic, I guess. Um,
A
but
hopeless
anyway,
romantic that cheats.
yeah, basically. Unfortunately, a lot of that stuff is not in the Persona 4 on PS2. Otherwise, I'd just recommend that version because nobody has a Vita. A lot of that stuff, like a lot of the extra story content and stuff, is in the Vita version of the game, which is Persona 4 Golden, a remake of the PS2 game with a bunch of extra content.
All right.
I don't want to say spend $160 to get Persona 4 Golden and a Vita, but you should probably do that because it was totally like I justified the purchase of my Vita
Well,
with that game. I'm going to go back and I'm going to play it again next year, and it's going to take me 70 more hours because it took me I think 73 hours, and from beginning to end it was captivating, it was brilliant, and I loved it.
for what it's worth, you also get a Persona. You can also get Persona 3 Portable.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I might try that out one day. I'm hesitant to go back, although now since Persona 5 got delayed until 2016, I might have a chance to go do that.
Yeah, you sure will.
Yeah. Persona. It was the PSP version, right? You can download it on the shop or something.
Yes, it's a PS3 or the PSP version, and you can just download it off of the PlayStation
Or I
Store
could
or the
just buy a
Sony Store, whatever it's
PSP.
called now.
I could just buy a PSP.
Um,
Maybe not. I
so I
really.
don't think we really have anything left, do we?
No, although I have to say this is one of our best shows in terms of like talking about everything we wanted to talk about. We got everything out quickly. Very brisk show. I mean, I have to go in like 5 minutes, so you know. But I really enjoyed this show today. Honestly, I thought it was really really good.
All right. So if you enjoyed this show, please
Oh wait, hold
like
on, hold
it.
on. I didn't give my rating for Persona 4. It's a 5.
Oh,
It's a 5 out of 5.
it's a 5
Yeah.
out of 10. Wow.
No, yeah, out of 10. Oh, so the game
No,
sucked.
no. 5 out of 5. Best you can get. Perfect score from Spiegel.
Yep. Okay.
So
What were we saying?
you know the good news is I have Persona 4 Golden.
What
And
you do?
yep, I have Persona
Oh, that's
4
right.
Golden.
Yeah, we
and
talked
I have
about
a
this.
Vita, and it's just like literally Persona 4 Golden is sitting in my Vita waiting to be played. But I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to play it because I don't know. I'm currently only 40% of the way through Metal Gear Solid 5, and I'm
Yeah,
only
by the time you finish it, it'll be 2018, and then you know your Vita might not even work anymore. So there's that.
ouch. That would be quite the blow.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything else, Spiegel?
Follow
Anything
me
from
on
the good
Twitter at
doctor?
Spiegelwe, and then follow the ZBN at the ZBN. Because I don't know, just do it.
Yep.
Just do it.
And like our video, please comment, even if the comment just says "Hi Spiegel" and Piddle, or
You know
or you
we're
can
gonna
even
get
just
like
say
5 of
like,
those now.
or you can just say like, "Hey, you guys suck," and you know that way we'll at least know you listened.
Dude, last week we got, or not last week, but the last show that we did, we got like a great disagreement on like one of our comments. Who was it? Someone said something. Debt Cannon. He said, "Come on, guys, you lost me when you continued the everlasting myth that Nintendo is doomed. I heard that for the past 15 years, and I've seen it debunked many times." And then he goes on to say some other stuff, and I don't really want to respond to it right now because I already wrote a comment. But if you want, you should go on that video, Piddle, and respond to it because I want us to get more involved in the comments.
Nintendo doomed.
Nintendo
I don't think
is
they're doomed at all.
No,
I mean,
that's what I said. I said I don't think either of us actually believe that Nintendo is doomed.
yeah, they're completely fine. They're gonna remain profitable. It's just
Yeah, I think we meant more in terms of relevance.
yeah.
Just to
It's
respond to your
just
comment.
they're not being as successful as they could be. And as Nintendo fans, we just want to see a Nintendo system that dominates the market again.
Yeah,
And
I
you can
want
get,
Nintendo to dominate again. That'd be awesome.
I mean, we just want another Super Nintendo.
Yep.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I had a Genesis and I loved my Genesis, but the Super Nintendo is by far the better system. You didn't really need a Genesis if you had a Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. Right?
Yep. That is completely it. So, yeah, again, follow Spiegel at Twitter, follow the ZBN, and like, comment, tell us how much how bad we are at hosting shows.
Dude, tell us how offended you are that I made a herpes joke that like basically involved kids.
So, yep, comment, share us, and we will see you in hopefully 2 weeks, but you never know. I might not be done with Metal Gear Solid 5 by then.
And I'll be broadcasting from jail, so.
All right. For Dr. Piddle, for Dr. Spiegel, I'm Mr. Piddle. Have a good one.
Bye.